Your move.
What is going on, you guys? Bastion YGO here, and today it's a very exciting day for us. I'm going to be covering the 5 top budget decks of the current format. Now, just because a deck is budget does not mean it is bad. It just means that it can be easily attainable through a sum of, I want to say, $100 or less, so we're going to put that as our threshold. I want to say 150 if you're going to play a little bit more competitive. Now, all these decks have seen very high competitive success, and I'll be putting up examples of all of them on the screen for you guys as well as we go along. But with the cost of an average competitive deck reaching anywhere between $600, $700, even upwards of $1,000 to $1,200, I think if you can pick up a deck for $100 to $150, it is extremely budget in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you guys want to see a super budget list, then go ahead and let me know again in the comment section down below, and I'll put one maybe for less than $50 or even maybe a $30 top 5 budget deck for you guys as well. If that's something you guys are interested in, go ahead and let me know down below and leave a like if you guys enjoy these type of videos. Also, I've noticed that a quite big number of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so go ahead and subscribe down below for more content. And now, without further ado, let's get into the top 5. Start off with, of course, number 5. Kicking up our list at number 5, guys, we have Virtual World. So Virtual World has actually been around for quite a few months now. It was actually one of the top decks of the format a few months back. I want to say maybe 5-6 months ago. It's considered widely across as one of the best decks. It does have a bit of a breaking problem, but that can be very easily fixed through cards like Pot of Desires and Foolish Burial Goods as well. Now, this is a budget deck list. If you guys want to go ahead and give this a go, by all means go for it. It's something that I want to go ahead and put out for each of the decks I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to have a deck list each set for each and every single one of them. So if you guys want to get a better understanding of what the deck looks like, how it's constructed, definitely go ahead and use this as a template for you guys. Also, I've included a lot of budget options. So if you're playing Virtual World or playing any future decks, I'm not going to be using anything like Lightning Storms in the deck list, anything like Pot Prosperities, because they're outrageous at this point. Forbidden Droplets, even though it went down from $100 to now only a $50 card, is still quite a bit. But anyway, Virtual World has been known for its overall just resilience and being able to put up massive boards against your opponent. Even the less impressive boards can end on a Crystal Wing, a Shen, and a Chu-Chi Pop. So Shen is basically a walking macrocosmo. Essentially, any card sent from the field to the graveyard is going to be banished instead, which hurts a lot of top decks out there at the current time. Also to have the consistency to be able to go ahead and play also Foolish Burial Goods to send out your King Long. King Long has an effect, you can banish it from the graveyard to go ahead and search yourself a Virtual World monster from your deck to your hand, so that's amazing as well. And then Chu-Chi is just a phenomenal card to have in is searchable pop is what it is in the deck, and it's extremely consistent the way it goes about it. I would say the only downfall of Virtual World is that you need to have another Virtual World card on the field in order to go about your plays, and in the event that you cannot do so, whether your normal summon gets compulsed or something like that, it is going to be very tough for you to come back. But it does have, like I said, a lot of consistency cards. You play double Pot of Desires in here. You can play it without worrying at all. Triple Foolish Burial Goods to send your King Long to allow you to search, and also send Metal Force Fusion, which is really nice to be able to let you draw an additional card on your turn. Also, Emergency Teleport, because you are playing some of the best cards in this deck are level 3 Psychics. So there you go. It actually works out pretty perfectly as well. So I think Virtual World is definitely deserving, I should say, of a top 5 spot on this list. Also has seen immense success, as you guys may have seen. I put the thumbnails up just of some examples of some nationals winners and tops in the most recent months. So if you guys definitely want to go ahead and are new into Yu-Gi-Oh! And want to learn how to play the game overall, I think Virtual is also a fantastic tool for you, just to be able to show you how to Xyz and Synchro Summon and learn your chain links as well. Next on our list, guys, number 4, we have Tri-Brigade. Now, I want to focus on specifically the Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc build, which is known in the Bird Up version. This was the best deck of the format just a few months ago, but ever since we lost to Simorgh, Link 3, and the access to then special summon the Wind Barrier statue or the Mist Valley Avian, the deck has kind of seen a huge decrease in popularity just because it doesn't have the degeneracy, but the main engine itself is still extremely abusable. Yes, the limiting of Recital Starling was a big hit to overall consistency of the deck, but we did get a huge boost by being able to add a second fire formation Tenki, which then lets us add the Fractal. Now what blows my mind is that even the prismatic rares of the Tri-Brigade cards, which if you would like to pimp your deck out, by all means, they're only going for about $1 or $2 each. It's really not that expensive, and even if they can get a little bit pricey here and there, because it has been seeing quite a bit of success in past recent weeks and months. There are also alternative versions of these cards as well. So, and all the Lyreless cards are also commons, except for Bird Call, which was a $15 to $20 card when the deck was really, really good. Now I believe it's a $3 to $4 card. So this entire deck is extremely budget friendly, which I think is fantastic, especially for this list, of course. But that's not the only way you can play Tri-Brigade, of course. There's pure Tri-Brigade, where you can play cards like Rescue Cat and go that route as well. There's branded Tri-Brigade, which is still a big thing. Some people still trying to play DPE Tri-Brigade, which is not something I would recommend, because you cannot go into Private Plant Verti Anaconda, so you're kind of relying on having that to physically hard draw the Fusion Destiny. So I don't recommend that route, but the thing is that Tri-Brigade has so much versatility, being able to play also with the new Scareclaw card as well as a bit of a floodgate also just gives this deck that much more advantage. And honestly, I think Tri-Brigade is a phenomenal deck, extremely consistent. It can put up some very menacing boards, ending on cards like Utopic Draco Future, ending on cards like Appaloosa with 3 to 4 negates easily, plus having a Tri-Brigade Revolt, which if you guys do not know, this card is one of the best trap cards I've ever read in my life. So basically, special summons any number of beast warrior, winged beast monsters from your banished or graveyard, negates their effects, and then you immediately have to link them off to link summon with exclusively those cards, which gives you immediate access to cards like Sharag the Ominous Omen. If a beast warrior, winged beast is special summoned, or when this card is special summoned as well, you get to non-target banish any card on the field, which I think is absolutely phenomenal to have that type of access. So this is again a template if you guys want to go ahead and play a budget version of the Tri-Brigade Lyreless build. But if you guys want to play pure Tri-Brigade, by all means, there's plenty of profiles out there for you guys as well. Now, this would not be a top decks list without including, of course, the Granddaddy Eldlich the Golden Lord deck. So yes, I put the original artwork in here. I much prefer the alternate, but just so everyone can have a little more familiarity. So Eldlich is a deck that does not rely on the extra deck whatsoever. It does not care. You play Pot of Extravagance, you pretty much just play a whole bunch of floodgates and interrupt your opponent, just hindering them and summoning a Golden Lord that can rise up to 3,500 attack points and pretty much beat over every single other boss monster in the game. Also, in the event you can't get over something, you play cards like Lava Golem, which again your Golden Lord can very easily get over as well. Overall, I think this deck is actually extremely consistent. Even if you do not draw anything up here in the first line, any Cursed Eldland, any Extravagance, Lava Golem, or the Eldlich, just having all these floodgates in your deck and being extremely comfortable playing all of these with no problem gives this deck such a huge advantage in any scenario. Plus, you don't have to spend anything in your extra deck. All these cards I'm pretty sure are printed as commons as well. So this is an extremely budget friendly build. I think you could honestly probably build this deck, even with the reprint of Pot of Extravagance, probably build this deck for like 30-40 bucks, excluding the skill drains, which I think if you're smart, you can pick them up for maybe 20 bucks each for rare copies. So actually this deck is phenomenal and has the versatility to also play a branded versions as well, which gives you even access to more boss monsters if you want to go that route as well. But right now I'm just going for the pure Trap Eldlich build. So if flipping traps is something that you enjoy doing, this is definitely a deck that's going to do that, but it's going to do it at an elite level. Coming in at number 2 on our list, guys, we have the YCS Champion deck. We have the Sky Strikers. So Sky Striker has been around for years at this point, probably 4 years. It's been around for a while, and this deck just does not die. Especially when you can play a card like the Mystic Mine and pretty much revolve an entire deck around it. I think this deck is absurdly good. This actually took over DDD as my personal main deck, and I've seen extremely wild success in the most recent past few weeks, especially after YCS Hartford. That was probably the most defining moment in this year's Yu-Gi-Oh timeline, and the deck is extremely budget friendly. it can be extremely budget friendly if you're able to get it for the right price. Now, I did just upload recently a budget-friendly Mystic Mine Sky Striker build, which is very similar to this. Maybe a few cards are different, but you can build the entire deck for about 150 bucks total USD. So it still falls within the budget category. It may be a little bit more if you want to get cards like Infinite Impermanence or Ash Blossoms, but you can just as happily play DD Crow. You can still play Effect Veilers as well. Ghost Ogre is a phenomenal hand trap as well if you want to go ahead and go that route. But I took out the Infinite Impermanence, put Compulse Evacuation Device, still a really good card as well, again in the current format. So honestly, Sky Striker is not going anywhere. It's very deserving of the second place on this list, and the only reason it gets second is because the first place deck is just that much better. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and go to number 1 on our budget friendly list. Guys, if you had not guessed it already, of course, first place on our top budget decks, Yu-Gi-Oh! As of July 2022 so far, we have Floowandereeze. Floowandereeze, pretty much, if Mystic Mine was not in the format, Floowandereeze is definitely going to be the most hated deck to go up against. Out of all the decks, I would rather go up against 100% Branded Despia, Sword Soul, all those other top tier decks instead of Floowandereeze. Just being able to hold itself in the top 5 league of its own, not just in the budget friendly category, but in the overall decks category. And you don't have to play cards like Power Prosperity. It just definitely helps to get out your M-Pen, but you can definitely still have some amazing success playing Extravagance, Pot of Duality, just digging into your deck as much as possible. The Book of Moons, being able to dodge negations from your opponent as well is absolutely phenomenal. And overall, this deck can do so much with so little. Being able to also manipulate your opponent's graveyard as well with a card like Dimension Shifter as well, it's just absolutely bananas. And honestly, I cannot think of a better deck that is more budget friendly and also has such a high ceiling as far as deck can goes. There's not going to be a heavy combo build whatsoever. Pretty much your entire extra deck is just in case you banish them all with Extravagance, you're still going to be just fine. Cards that can definitely still play cards like Barry's Statue of the Stormwinds. You can play Mist Valley, Apex Avian, which, like I said before, were a big part of the reason why the Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk deck back in the day saw such high success. It was being able to play these cards, and this deck can definitely do it without breaking a sweat. I think honestly, Floowandereeze is one of the best decks out there overall in the current format, and is again definitely deserving of the first place spot on our top 5 budget tier list for Yu-Gi-Oh! July 2022. So if you guys have any disagrees or agree in the comment section down below, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below as far as what top 5 decks you would have put for your budget list. I consider putting Salamangre in here, but honestly, I just think these decks can do so much more and have a bit of more of a higher ceiling, whereas Salamangre is just really consistent. So at this point, I think this is going to be the best top 5 budget deck for you guys. If you guys disagree, again, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys like these top 5 videos, let me know as well by smashing the like button and subscribe for more videos, guys. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I noticed a lot of you guys are still not subscribed, so go ahead and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.